Hello, my name is Right Worshipful Brother Ron Findlater. I'm the team leader of the Conerstone project for the Grand Lodge of Canada in the province of Ontario. I would like to start by welcoming all of you to this session. Our goal is to share some information on the Conerstone project with each of you so that you are more familiar with what is involved in this particular project. Conerstone had its start in 2009 when the Grand Master at that time, Most Worshipful Brother Raymond S.J. Daniels, agreed that Conerstone would assist lodges within the jurisdiction to achieve his objective of making good lodges better. Okay. The concept of Conerstone is derived from the first stone set in the construction of a foundation. Any construction is dependent on that first stone for its strength and its integrity, because all other stones are then going to be set in reference to that first stone. So the cornerstone determines the position and the strength of the entire edifice. Similarly, each individual lodge contributes to the strength of our entire jurisdiction. So, as each stone contributes to the strength and the integrity of a building, so then each lodge contributes to the strength and the integrity of our Grand Lodge jurisdiction. The jurisdiction can only be as strong as its weakest lodge. The primary purpose of Conerstone is to encourage and to recognize those lodges that plan, implement, and manage a well-rounded yearly program, and also promote lodge activities, brotherhood, charitable work, and community involvement. Lodges that have already utilized the Conerstone project have found many benefits that have accrued to the lodge. These include increased vitality within the lodge, an enhanced sense of teamwork, increased pride in the lodge, a greater sense of accomplishment, and the use of the Conerstone designation. Let me give you an example of one lodge that has benefited from Conerstone. At one point, the lodge's Committee of General Purposes, comprised of 14 past masters, met to discuss the future of their lodge, specifically whether they would be amalgamating with another lodge in the district. 13 of the past masters at that meeting agreed that they should merge with that lodge. One individual resisted, and he encouraged his brethren to make use of the Conerstone project, with the proviso that if at the end of 2 years things were unchanged, he would lead the charge to the merger. In his words, 6 months after the lodge started using Conerstone, all talk of merger had passed, and they were on their way to revitalized and more exciting work within the lodge. Conerstone is not a standalone initiative. In fact, it can't work without the involvement of the other Lodge Resources Committee and Grand Lodge programs. The Friend to Friend, the Officer Mentorship, the mentorship programs are all encompassed within Conerstone. And it is not a one-time accomplishment. Lodges do not go through it once and say, there, we're a Conerstone lodge. It's an ongoing process. Each lodge must submit a letter of intent and its completed package every other year in order to maintain that ongoing Conerstone designation. The letter of intent that the lodge submits affirms or confirms that the lodge is dedicated to cooperative implementation of the standards, that they are supportive of community action, and that they are dedicated to long-range planning for their lodge. Unfortunately, many lodges feel that they are caught in the proverbial catch-22. They feel that they can't do Conerstone because they don't have the resources, specifically the manpower, to work towards the various standards. But they don't have the resources because they don't use Conerstone. Our wish is for each lodge to break that cycle. Once the lodge has made a decision to participate in Conerstone, they need to appoint a coordinator. He is the man who will lead the process. He's not the one who is going to do it all, because in order to be successful, it requires the input and involvement of the membership of the lodge. Once the letter of intent is received by the Conerstone team leader, an advisor is assigned to work with the lodge. The advisor, ideally, is a member of the same district, or at least a district in close proximity. And his role is to work with the Conerstone coordinator as may be needed, and to provide assistance and guidance throughout the process. In order to qualify as a Conerstone lodge, each lodge must meet certain requirements. There are 3 mandatory standards, and the lodge must achieve one of those, as well as 5 of 11 major standards and 6 of 12 basic standards. Let me explain a little bit about the standards. The mandatory standards of the 3, there are friend-to-friend program, the mentor program, and officer mentorship. Now the friend-to-friend program, it could be the same as the program that is spelled out by Grand Lodge in the Lodge Resources Manual, or it could be a program of the lodge's own design, provided it achieves the same results. The mentor program, again, a lot of lodges are using their own mentor program, but the idea is that a past master or an experienced mason within the lodge meets with that new mason and helps him along the way prior to his initiation and after each of the 3 degrees. But as well, the mentor stays involved with that individual right through his Masonic career. The officer mentorship is designed to assist those brethren who are proceeding through the chairs and can draw on the experience and the skill of the past masters to familiarize themselves and better acquaint themselves with the requirements of each chair. There are 11 major standards. One of these is attendance at the annual communication of Grand Lodge. And the requirement expects at least one of the 3 senior officers, the worshipful master, the senior warden or junior warden, or the proxy carrier to be in attendance at the communication along with additional members of the lodge. The lodge is required to establish an operating budget. And this will become increasingly more important in light of the expectations to meet the various building code requirements currently before the lodges throughout this jurisdiction. Conduct 3 Masonic education sessions. These don't have to be hour-long or half-day sessions, but rather having somebody provide a brief 5 to 10 or 15-minute presentation during the course of a regular lodge meeting. Conduct 2 of the 3 degrees. This needs to be done by the officers of the lodge. Many lodges are bringing in special degree teams, whether it's from another lodge or from a concordant body or a special group, but the officers of the lodge need to put on at least 2 of the 3 degrees during the course of the project cycle. Distribute 3 written lodge communications. In addition to the summons, this could be a lodge newsletter, it could be a note about a special Christmas event or some other lodge barbecue or golf tournament, things of that nature. Participate in a district workshop. This will be one that the district deputy or the group in the district have coordinated for all of the lodges in the district. Visit another lodge. This is where the members of Alpha Lodge decide they're going to go visit Omega Lodge. But you need to make sure that you have the right number of brethren and the officers covered off in that visit. Conduct a lodge survey. Find out what your membership, what your brethren are thinking about what's happening within the lodge. Participate in the traveling gavel visitation program. If the district has one, this is one that is set up by the district deputy and encouraged by him to promote visitation among the lodges in the district. Sponsor a Masonic event. Masonic is doing very well, and whatever we can do to support it can only be a benefit to all. Participate in blood donor clinics. This doesn't mean that you have to go and give blood necessarily. Lodges have sponsored clinics. They have also gone and volunteered, either by driving people to and from the clinics or handing out the cookies and the soft drinks or coffee after the donations have been given, but participating within the district, within a local blood donor clinic. Now with the basic standards, we have 12 standards and you have to choose 6. You could invite or host another lodge to an event, whether it's just another regular meeting or if it's a special event occurring within your lodge meeting. Host a social for the ladies and the widows. Could be a Christmas dinner, it could be an afternoon tea, but an event where they are invited to participate. Recognize 50-year members or past masters. And it's not simply a case of standing up in lodge and saying, "Right worshipful brother so-and-so, here's your pin, and here's your card from Grand Lodge. Congratulations." And that's the end of it. It has to be more than that. There is a particular ceremony that has been prepared by Grand Lodge, that has been used by many lodges, and has been well received by those 50-year members. You're encouraged to use that program. Interact with the local youth group. If there's a Demolay or Job's Daughters or Rainbow Girls in your community, get involved with them. But if there isn't, what about minor sports teams? Sponsor a team. What about the Scouts or 4-H? But get involved and support the local youth groups. Assist widows and shut-ins. These do not have to be strictly widows or shut-ins with Masonic connections. It could be your next door neighbor or your mother-in-law. And it could involve anything from driving them to medical appointments or seeing that their laneway gets shoveled or their grass gets cut or taking them for groceries. But assistance to those who are unable to do those events themselves. Hold a lodge of discussion. A lodge of discussion is different from Masonic education, and it's also different from a lodge of instruction. A lodge of discussion is an informal, round-the-table discussion, if you will, where the brethren are able to comment about a particular topic that has been raised within the lodge. It's not an opportunity to talk about regular lodge business, such as is it time to replace the carpet, or what do we do about the locks on the door, because those are items that are dealt with under the Committee of General Purposes. Lodge of discussion is a general discussion about things Masonic. Participate in a community event. Could be sidewalk days, could be 24th of May parade, could be open doors program, but the lodge gets involved and is represented. Hold an open house where you invite the public to come in and tour your facilities, and you share some information about Masonry with them. It's important to keep in mind that you cannot claim credit for two standards based on one event. Often what happens in a community event, if it's an open doors program, there might be an open house involved with it. You cannot claim participation in a community event and an open house because you were involved in an open doors program with an open house component. Many lodges have found that it helps if they review the standards and then determine which ones they want to work towards. They then assign specific tasks as may be needed to the brethren. As has been said previously, this is not a one-man job. The coordinator is the one who will pull all the information together, but he is not the one who is supposed to be going out and leading or coordinating or putting on each of the various events. The coordinator should be compiling all of the necessary documentation over the course of the year, as opposed to waiting until 2 weeks before the deadline. In this way, he can submit a detailed activity package that includes the necessary lodge summonses or meeting minutes or other notices that will confirm that the standards have been met. Packages must be received by June 15th. Those that come in after that particular date may not be able to be reviewed in time for a decision to be made for the Grand Master to make the presentation at Grand Lodge in July. Once the packages are received, members of the Conerstone team review those packages, following which the recommendations are forwarded ultimately to the Grand Master. Successful lodges are announced at the Grand Lodge with certificates presented by the incoming District Deputy Grand Master at the September or October meeting following July Grand Lodge communication. Successful lodges are then eligible to use the designation as it appears here on their letterhead, their summons, their website, any correspondence coming out of the lodge. The goal of the Conerstone project is that each lodge will take the opportunity to participate in Conerstone and help meet the Grand Master's objective to make good lodges better. The Conerstone Manual is available at the Grand Lodge website. It's in the Members section under the heading Craft Stewardship. And it's important to keep in mind that you will need your certificate number that's on the corner of your Master Mason certificate in order to access the Members section. If you require more information or would like to learn more about Conerstone, you may contact me, the Cornerstone team leader, and my name and email address is available on the screen, and I will respond to any emails that come in. Thank you for your attendance. Thank you for listening. We hope that you have gained some useful information about Cornerstone and that you will now take this information and implement Cornerstone within your lodge. Thank you.